Driving to the golf course today, I was trying to think of what is the best lesson I could give the average amateur in this video in order to help them improve their wedge play pretty much instantaneously. Well, I came up with two words: shallow, draw. So let's now talk about why I chose the words shallow and draw. Well, it's all to do with what most amateurs do sort of incorrectly when it comes to a wedge. So first of all, a wedge shaft is one of the shortest shafts in our bag. That therefore means that the swing plane is naturally going to be a little bit steeper because we are going to be more bent over. As a result, the things that I sort of see a lot of amateurs struggle with is, number one, an out to in path, so they very much pull across the ball for a right-handed golfer to the left, but also I see people, because of this, have a very deep divot, even for these short shots. That also makes it extremely hard to time your strike, so you'll see fat shots, thin shots, you'll see a bit of everything in this situation. So the reason why I chose the word draw was because for a draw, we need to have that path working out to the right for a right-handed golfer, so in to out. So that fixes the first part. And number two, the reason why I chose the word shallow is not necessarily because of angle of attack. It's actually to do with the depth of the divot. I don't necessarily want to see you take these huge turfs of grass out. I want you to feel like you can actually get this nice sort of shallow divot. Again, you can still have an angle of attack that's down quite a bit. You just have to control your divot depth. Now, this is also going to help with another thing, and it's actually strike location. Now, when you hit a wedge shot, you want to hit it low with a lot of spin. I think a lot of people know that by now. In order to do that, one of the most fundamental parts is A, you have clean grooves, but B, is that you actually hit it low in the face. So roughly from the second to fourth groove from the bottom. If you are having a deep divot depth and you are swinging out to in, it is going to be very hard to achieve that good strike location. So by simply using the word shallow and draw, you are going to be able to shift your path to the right, which is going to help you with your accuracy, because the higher the loft of the club, the more the path plays a role in where the ball starts. And secondly, the shallow aspect is going to get that strike location perfect. So that's why I chose those two keywords: shallow and draw. Now, I'm going to show you how to achieve both of those things so you can hit these beautiful low spinning wedge shots. So let's start with the first part, which is the path. So trying to use that word draw to help us. Now remember, for us to hit a functional draw, for us to be a right-handed golfer, we have to have our path go to the right of target. Now, by far, the biggest influence over path is the shoulders and the chest. And I see so many people who feel like it's all to do with the feet, but it's not. So for example, one of the elements that I'm not too fussed about when it comes to wedge play is how you set up with your feet. Some amateurs like to set up with the feet open, some like to go square, some like to go closed. Frankly, I feel like that's more personal preference. The thing that I really want you to be able to control though is your shoulders. So I've got the 75-yard sign up there. I'm not too sure if you can pick it up from the downline view, but I'm going to hit my shot towards that 75-yard sign. Now in this situation, if I'm trying to feel like I'm hitting a bit more of a draw, even if I set up with my feet pointing left of target, I'm going to try and point my shoulders just to the right of that 75-yard sign. Now from there, I'm going to feel like as I swing it back and back down, that I return it back to this point where my shoulders are slightly closed of that target. So that's going to get me in a good position to where I feel like, because my shoulders are more closed, that I'm able to shift my path to the right of target. If I was in this position and either I A, set up with the shoulders too open, or B, I set up with the shoulders open but then ripped my chest open on the way down, you would find that again that path would want to work out to in, which is not good for a wedge shot, because remember, the path plays more of a role in dictating start line than it does with, say, a driver with a wedge. So we need to make sure we can control path just as much as we can control club face. So if I'm setting up here, I'm feeling like even if my stance is slightly open, I've got my shoulders close to where that target's pointing. I can very much see my lead shoulder in my periphery right here. I feel like my shoulders are to the right of the target because I'm trying to hit a little draw. That's the feeling. It might not actually draw, but that's the feeling for me. And then from there, I will find that I'll hit a little bit more in to out. just like that. That one did actually draw slightly, and from there that gave me a really nice, I don't know if it picked it up on the mic, but a really nice crisp sound, and that's going to help you control your path a lot more when it comes to wedge shots. So let's now run through the second part, which is the shallow aspect. And remember, we're not necessarily talking about angle of attack here. Look at Victor Hovland, one of the best players in the world, if not arguably the best player in the world as of recording this video right now in terms of performance. He is extremely steep on his wedges in terms of angle of attack, but he's able to control his divot depth because he's able to do this movement that we're going to talk about right now. So we're talking about shallowness in terms of strike and not in terms of angle of attack. And the way that we're going to do this is by able to control the left side of our body. Now, one of the things that I see so many amateurs do, and again, I understand this because it's sort of, it feels like you might thin it from this point of view, but what they do is they get into a position where they're over the top, and then from there, as they hit, everything just sort of stays down. So there's none of this movement of the left shoulder up and back and out of the shot. So what we'll see with the best players in the world, when they're hitting wedge shots, if you focus on their left side of their body, it will work into this sort of extension position right here. Pelvis will work under them and slightly up. Left shoulder will for sure work kind of up and back. And this is what allows them to control the divot depth. If the left side of the body never pushes up, what will happen is that the club will just sort of slam down into the ground. Ultimately from there, you'll hit it higher in the face, producing a higher launch, lower spin, which is great for a driver, terrible for a wedge. But by actually being able to control your divot depth and by getting the left side up and out of the ground for a right-handed golfer, you'll be able to hit it low on the face. This will actually fire the golf ball out very low with a lot of spin. So let me just hit a shot for you showing you what this would look like. Then I'll run you through a really simple drill that you can incorporate effortlessly into your practice routine. So again, shoulders are in a good position, and I'm going to feel like this left shoulder's working up and back out the shot, and the left side is getting longer. Let me hit this one for you right here. So the drill that we're going to go through is called the alignment stick drag through drill. Now, I actually gave this drill a couple of weeks ago in one of my driver videos. So it goes to show that this movement that we're doing is not just for a wedge shot, it's for all clubs. How severe we exaggerate it though is going to depend on what club we're hitting. Obviously, if you're hitting a driver, things are going to be pretty maxed out. If we're hitting a wedge shot, it's going to be a lot more under control. So the way you're going to perform this drill, take an alignment stick, grip it right at the top. Then from there, place the alignment stick so it's in line with the right big toe right there. Now you are going to drag this alignment stick through as close as you can to your body. Now as I do that, you can see the alignment stick is stressing right there, and it is forcing the left side of my body to work upwards. This is what allows us to control the depth of our divot. Again, if we think about sort of the bad swing, if I was to stay down, you can see how this is going to stress the alignment, but also it's going to throw the alignment stick out and away from me. So by dragging that alignment stick close to the body, I'm going to feel what it feels like to work that left shoulder up and back. I'm also going to feel what it feels like to extend the pelvis through, and that is going to work wonders in terms of achieving that low contact in the face, but also helping me control the depth of the divot. Now, a second variation of this drill is doing it with an actual wedge. So what I want you to do is set up to an imaginary golf ball, so set up inside, take the club and just sort of put it back, again, just sort of outside your right foot and quite close to your body. Now from here, again, I just want you to feel like you can drag that golf club through. So don't worry about getting a little bit lower here. Just drag it through and feel what it feels like to get that left shoulder working up and back and the left leg pushing upwards just a little bit. You can see as I do that, that's what allows me to get this body extending up. This is again going to help us control the lowest point of our arc, helping us achieve that great divot depth that's so crucial for strike location and therefore our wedge shots. Now, if I actually hit a shot here, again, going at the 75, shoulders in a good position, pointing at the target or just right of it if you need to exaggerate a little bit more, and I'm going to feel like the left side of the body is extending back and up this way in order to control that divot depth. Now, if you need a little bit more one-to-one help with your game, then please check out the link down below. I offer online coaching on the Skillist platform. I've helped hundreds of golfers around the world, and you could be next. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.